50% Warno sale, 2 new maps, massive balance patch, no prior time to make videos. They've just surprise released this on the same day Broken Arrow comes out. I've got a few hours before Broken Arrow comes out. I'm still in my pajamas. Let's get on with it. So the biggest change for a lot of people is going to be the changes to the reservist trait. It used to be that the reservist trait would give you plus 50% suppression damage, plus 20% aim time, minus 5% static accuracy, minus 5% motion accuracy, and plus 15% reload time. They have now fixed that so that there are now 2 different traits. Militia for like literally the KDA Schutzens of the world, who get the old reservist trait, and reservist who get reduced weapon accuracy and take more suppression in combat. Sadly, the reservist trait is still not displayed on the stat cards, so they've reworked it and they still haven't fixed the main problem, which is that you can't tell what it does. So even though reservist gives you less motion accuracy, less static accuracy, it doesn't tell you. Oh, hey Hippie, why are you in your pajamas? You look retarded. Well, the powers that be have decided that they want to patch their game for the first time in 3 months. Today, on Broken Arrow launch day, we were not given early access, as we often are, for like 48 hours or whatever to make a video. As in, I do get it early for testing purposes, but usually they say, hey, this is the patch, you can make the videos. I did ask them, and they said, well, we don't know, and then they just pushed it out. So I'm super happy. These guys, they just don't seem to understand marketing at all. This is the day Broken Arrow comes out. And this patch, which they've worked very hard on with all these new maps, look at this. We'll get into it. It's like pissing in the wind. It's like spitting in the rain. I think spitting in the rain is probably the better analogy, right? It's something, but you're not going to notice because everybody's looking at Broken Arrow. This extends, one, to the players who, I suppose there are a few hours before Broken Arrow comes out. It's 10 a.m. Broken Arrow comes out at 5 p.m. And it extends to people like me. How can I cover this patch adequately? I simply don't have the time. So you get Pajama Hippie, you get Throat Scratchy Hippie, you get really annoyed Hippie, you get literally balding Hippie. Get me out. So this is the new map. It's called Omen. It's a 1v1 map. Isn't that cool? I don't think it's going to be in the ranked pool until they reset they reset all the stats on July, something like that. They said it in the I'm sorry, guys. If only I had more time to prepare. If only I had had some prior notice in a way, you know. So some early, maybe if the embargo dropped earlier. So this is Ico, which isn't coming out yet or something. Monday, July 7th, they're gonna add this to the ranked pool. Apparently, Hippie, how does it play? I don't know. I'm busy. If only everything wasn't happening at once. So yeah, it looks very nice. I mean, you've got the +2s back here, spawns in the corners, which is something they're getting a bit more used to, rather than just having one spawn here, one spawn here. They're playing more along the diagonals, which leads to a more dynamic game. It just does. So this is your back zone, this is their back zone, and then you've got something here, and then these 3 are going to be the main points of contention. And then there'll be, the big one is going to be Boris, and if you take Gregory, you can threaten Chariton. If you take, the enemy takes Dimitri, you can threaten Center. That's my assumption. It might actually be that, because obviously, we don't know the lanes. We don't know the lanes, because we haven't had enough time. Because basically, they release test versions to us, and this is just open knowledge because you can look it up on Steam DB. It tells you when they push a test version, and anybody can look at that. And then eventually they say, okay, this is the one that's going to go out, so you have early access. And this time they didn't do that. They just wanted to surprise us on the day of the Broken Arrow launch. So check it out. This is Omen. It's great to get new maps. It is actually great. I'd love to be able to play it. And then they're going to add something called Surrounded and 3v3 Conquest, 3v3 Destruction, and 10v10. So Omen is supposed to be the sort of, yeah, so it's supposed to be partially symmetric or mostly symmetric. So you know, there's 2 buildings, 4 buildings in here, and there's, you know, almost 4 buildings in here. So yeah, oh no, hang on, here it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so there's 4 buildings in here, there's 4 buildings in here, right? The road's on this side, the road's on that side. So it's supposed to be symmetrical, as symmetrical as possible without ruining immersion. And frankly, I think they've gotten away with it. You can't tell it's a symmetrical map, right? Because it's not perfectly symmetrical. Like, for example, this, you know, and then this is here. We'll see how balanced it is. We need about 10,000 games played on it. It's great to get some new maps. So enjoy playing this instead of Broken Arrow, I guess. Then we've got Surrounded, which is playable in 3v3, 3v3, and 10v10. So let's have a look at the 3v3 version. And I haven't had any breakfast yet. I'm starting to wake up a bit, though. It's just you might think, well, Hippie, you got loads of time. Because it's only 10:30. Broken Arrow comes out at 5. I have to render the video. I don't know how long it's going to take me, and I have to render the video, and I did have plans for other things to do before Broken Arrow comes out. For example, my fridge has a freezer thing in the top, and it's just turned into a solid block of ice. Oh dear. And I need to chip it all out. I literally get a hammer and a screwdriver, and I just go when I knock out these massive chunks of ice, which I throw in the sink. Well, I don't have time now. I'm just going to have wet fridge food, because that's what happens. It just soaks through everything. Oh, I was going to get some blueberries as well, but there were old people in Aldi. I mean, there's always old people. The average age of this country is 41. If you're wondering why the economy's shit in a brick constantly, just look up the average age of your country and think about how many pensioners you have to support, right? It's not the brown people. They are how they're trying to solve the problem by getting more workers in, you know. Whether or not that works is a separate situation, but, you know, that's why that's happening. Anyway, I couldn't get my blueberries because they were in front of it, and I was like, I'll circle back around. I've just realised I didn't, so I should be getting them now, but I can't because I'm yeah, I'm in my pajamas and I'm covering this. So this is Surrounded. I suppose it's not Eugen's fault that I didn't get my blueberries because I didn't want to push some old people out the way. It looks really nice. Imagine if I had like a week to just play this and just play the other one, and then just, you know, wow, check this out, and I could get, you know, we could thank the generous channel joiners, generously joining the channel, right? They get their names on the screen, they get their videos early. Members exclusive videos, you know, one join at the lowest level is worth 2,000 views. So if you're feeling bad about your ad block, right, maybe you want me to get some better pajamas or something. Yeah, this is Surrounded. It looks really cool. It looks really cool. So you know, you can think 3v3, lane. I like the aesthetic. It's like a bit more sandy. I know somebody's working on, so Jasp, who I used to play with a lot when the game first came out in tournaments. We were always in tournaments and we were always about the same level. I think I've been playing a lot more than him, so I think you know, I think I'm a bit better now. But we've not played in a bit. Anyway, he's making a mod, which is, which this update will break, obviously, which is it's the Iran-Iraq war. So yeah, like you can play as the Iranians, you can play as the Iraqis, and I haven't played it myself yet. I was waiting Look, you can play this mod by reverting your thing to the earlier version. And yeah, so sand maps. This could ostensibly be kind of regarded as some parts of. I mean, I suppose these tree lines back here are a bit full, but the middle, you know, you could ostensibly say that this is Iraq, kind of. You know, in the swamplands or whatever in the south. You know, it used to be the most fertile part of the world. That if you wonder like why is this place always getting invaded by everybody? Obviously these days it's for the oil, but back in the good old days between the Romans and the Assyrians or whatever they called themselves, the Persians, it was because it was the breadbasket of the world, and climate change basically turned it into a desert. Big sad. Um, Anyway, check out this map. Looks really cool. You can barely see where these zones end because of the colour they've used for the ground. But yeah, there's clearly a high ground up here. That's why they've used a different colour, so that you can tell where it is. And you can tell where it is. Being on the high ground doesn't give you any other advantages than if there's a guy coming down this road, you can just, bam, shoot him. He stops to shoot his ATGM or whatever, and then you just reverse. So that's the advantage it gives you. That's also the advantage it gives you on Creeder. So yeah, really cool map. How does it play? I don't know. Let's have a look at the Destruction and 10v10 versions. Destruction ones tend to have massive zones. Tend to have massive zones. So we'll just give that a look. So there you go. Now it's like just one big zone in mid, and it's rotated 90 degrees. I think that's something they should do for Conquest as well, because you don't have to download a fresh map, so it doesn't add to hard drive space, and it just gives you great ways to play the map. So why not have Conquest surrounded 90? They just call it surrounded 90 degrees, and it's just a 90. It's just this, except you know, well that you could even leave the zones the same. Why not? But yeah, you could divide this into like 2 or something, or 3 even. And yeah, so it's rotated 90 degrees. That's proper cool. You'll notice that there's less. You know, you can tell the map was made to be played this way because there's more roads going this way than there are going this way. Like, so there's one little track here that you can barely see. I suppose there's another one. But yeah, for the most part, I think it looks good. I'm sorry I don't have any gameplay of it. They didn't tell me I could record on this version, and then they just panic released it because Broken Arrow's coming out. No one's going to watch this anyway. They're all going to be playing Broken Arrow. I didn't even know, but I released a video this morning at 7 AM because I assumed this wasn't happening today. Code fixes. Fix spawn zones that were previously fixed per camp, causing NATO or pack to always spawn on the same side of the map. Spawns are now randomized again. So we've been referring to maps as the NATO side, the red side and the blue side, and now that's not correct anymore. And they refuse to label their sides A side, B side, and allow us to change the sides manually. Alright, well they've just made everything a bit harder for us, but okay, whatever. Fixed units that can no longer move after being repaired following a critical hit. Special symbols are no longer interpreted in lobbies and player names. Do they just enjoy making things worse for everybody? So it used to... What? I don't understand why they did that. What do they mean by special symbols? How special is my symbol? Third Armored. I can't remember how it's spelled. So I have a video on my channel, we'll get to this, where I cover the Warno how to change your name codes. And it tells you how to customize your name. Hey guys, they've decided that this wonderful feature needs to be removed, perhaps? I mean, we're about to find out. So we're trying some flags. And then we'll try, Then we'll try, you know, Rico 1, whatever. I don't understand why they would do this. If they have done it, we just need to check, right? Cyan test. I mean, that was fun. That was exciting. You could add cool symbols to your name. And they've got rid of it. So this wonderful patch, this fix, has made it so that you can no longer put flags in your name. You can no longer put icons in your name. This whole guide is now kaput. People have been doing this for years. Apparently, that's a bad thing, and we need to stop it. Today just gets better and better. Oh, man. So they nerfed autocannons, they reduced the effective range, they decreased the accuracy, they slightly decreased the splash and the suppression capability, they increased the reload time between salvos on the ATGMs, and they added a minimum range for AA guns. What does this actually mean? What are these ranges? You know, they could just tell us. But no, apparently it's more important to make sure I can't put my flag in my name. Apparently that's what they need to fix. You'll notice it doesn't say anything about fixing the black screen issue. It just says they're working on it and it's reset some of our graphics options. Let's all be calm. So, I'm just so calm right now. So, what does this mean? So, this is the Raden. The Raden, which is all 30 millimeters. This also applies to BMP2. The HE damage radius has gone from 7 meters to 5 meters, which means that misses will hurt people less. They've taken the suppression down from 51 to 45. They've reduced the radius of the suppression from 37 to 35, which means that near misses will do it less. They've increased the ground minimum range, which means that if you're in smoke, you just won't be able to shoot people with these anymore. I'm not sure that's an improvement. They've reduced the helicopter range from 1600 meters to 1500 meters. They've reduced the accuracy per shot from 17 to 15. In their infinite wisdom, the accuracy that they actually display on the stat card is the accuracy per salvo, not the accuracy per shot. Oh wow, they didn't even mention this. This isn't in the patch notes. You can now see veterancies on the stat cards in the thing. They've just not bothered to tell us that. Okay. Anyway, you see this says 55%. That's because that's the chance of it hitting once in 5 rounds, which is a really dumb way of displaying it. Because it means that these numbers are always inflated, and it means that, so if this salvo size gets big enough, they're basically always the same, because of the way statistical probabilities work. So you just can't tell the difference too much. But yeah, the accuracy per shot has gone from 17 to 15%, and they've reduced the ammo count, because it says number of salvos from 60 to 50. So this used to be 300 rounds, and now it's 250 apparently. And the supply cost has come down because the number of rounds they're carrying has come down. Then we need to look at the other. So there's also 25mm, which is the Marder, I think. Man, I just had it. So yeah, the scimitar, right, and then the Lux. So the Lux is the Lux 20 or 25? Alright, that's 20. So let's do the Belgian one, which is 25. Where are we? Is it? They've not changed it. That's so funny. That's so funny. They've not changed it, I think, because it's not here. We need to find the stats from... So they've nerfed some of the autocannons, but not others. Maybe. It's kind of hard to tell. Let's have a look at 82nd Airborne. Has that shown up? If only I'd had more time. So the Bushmaster's been nerfed. Oh no, this has been nerfed as well. It's just not coming up. What? I'm sorry about this, guys. If only I'd had more time. No, no way. No way. Oh, okay. It's just not showing up properly on this website. They have nerfed the Belgian one. I'm sorry I'm making mistakes, but that's what you get. And you don't give me more time to make these videos. So, where's what's it called? Like, 4DE or something? Or... Oh, this is just ridiculous. Oh, it's 16th, yeah. So for some reason this isn't listing it as a change in this division, even though... Alright, well, okay, so 25mm, how have 25mm changed? So the HE radius has gone from 7 to 5, the suppression has gone from 42 to 40. So if you compare this to the scimitar... What? Okay. Suppression's gone from 42 to 40. The minimum, the ground suppression radius has gone from 37 to 32. The HE radius has gone from 7 till 5. The helicopter range has gone from 1600 to 1500, and the accuracy per shot has gone from 21 to 19, which means the accuracy per salvo has gone from 65 to 9. Sorry, from something to 65. I think it might have been 70 before. I don't know. So that's 25mm. Then for 20mm, we'll look at the Germans, the West Germans, not the Swamp Germans. So the looks, HE damage radius 7 to 5. Suppression's actually gone up from 34 to 35 per round, but the radius of suppression has gone down from 36 to 30. The ground range has gone from 1575 to 1500, so they've been affected the least, really, I think. And then the ground minimum range has gone up to 50, as we spoke about. The helicopter range has gone down to 1250, and the accuracy per shot has gone from 15 to 13. So you're going to miss a little bit more, and the shots are going to do a little bit less. But they haven't fixed that really funky thing where if you hit a small vehicle once, it just goes bang and disappears. So they're all still going to do that because the AP values are still the same. So the autocannon changes, very limited changes. I don't think you're going to notice a big difference. There is clearly some difference, but I don't think you're going to notice a big difference. So AA guns added a minimum range for AA guns. So now there's a 250-meter minimum range for all AA guns. Forest range is 350. So now, if you're fighting one of these things in the forest, you should run into him and then he'll stop shooting you. If you just attack move him from max range, he'll still kill you. Because forest range is 350, I think. Because that's the range of the flamethrower, and that's why they made it that range. If only I'd had time to angrily drink my water. So I can't put any flags in anymore. I don't know if they've fixed the crash. And we can't say red side, blue side anymore. And they fixed units that could no longer move after being repaired following a critical hit. So yeah, if you got engine destroyed, people, and we saw this in tournaments and everything, you could repair it and then it wouldn't be able to move. The engine would just be destroyed forever, even if the crit wasn't there. So now let's talk about balance, and usually I'd do it by division. Well, that's not happening, is it? We'll do it by nation, and we'll just hope they're all in here. I think most of the changes are in here. Usually they miss out something, but I think most of them are in here. So the LAV price has come down from 100 to 80, so this is something a lot of people have been bothering me about, and now it's fixed. So the LAV is all I can see. LAV, it's an easy GG. Basically, it got massively overpriced to deal with the fact that it was ruining games. And then 82nd Airborne became not so great because of all the changes, and so now this costs more or less closer to what it should. So if you think that the Fox with its wheels are 70, the LAV has a better gun, it's got better optics, it's actually slower, it's got two guns instead of one, you know, against infantry. and it's got 2 armor, which does matter, and the gun is better, which I guess I already said. More accuracy, more pen, higher fire rate, lower aim time. Oh no, that's because of the veterancy. Higher fire rate, higher accuracy, higher motion accuracy, more pen, less HE, but the fire rate and the accuracy make up for that. And now it's 80, so that's closer to what it should be, really. So hopefully that helps 82nd Airborne a bit, which needed the help. There's a guy who became a channel member recently. I think he's called Wilson. I might be getting that wrong. And he was complaining about this div. Well, now this div's a bit better. M1A1CV price came down. So a lot of so in the last patch, a lot of the tanks were getting cheaper, but the CVs weren't getting cheaper. So now this is a 40-point gap, whereas it was more before. It's supposed to be a 40-point gap for these heavy tanks. Except if you look at... yeah, so this is 40 now, right? Obviously the Soviet ones are a bit different, because although this is still 40, even though this one doesn't have an ATGM, so should there be 40 when, the one on the right has an ATGM, which does kind of make it a bit better. I don't know. Wouldn't it be cool if they released T80 BVs without ATGMs, and then you could have like a division that, oh, these guys didn't get their Glatagms or whatever you want to call it. But no, can't have fun things. Command M60A1 Rise CV. So all the M60s got buffed. Their speed went up by 5 kilometers an hour. So that's pretty cool. And the price went down by 10 because the actual rise is, so the lighter tanks tend to have a 20-point difference. So if you compare the T55 command, that's 20, right? The Meridia is 20. The T55 Poland is 20, right? The A and the AK 20. This one doesn't have the Mega Bastion, so that's why these actually cost the same, because this is really good because of this. So at least they account for it here, but in some of the other ones they don't. All the M60A1 Rise got fast. All the M60s got faster. And then, so the M60A3s got buffed a little bit. They came down by 5 points. So this makes a lot of sense considering how good the T55 are by comparison. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh no, I'm doing that thing where I don't actually sneeze. Oh, you've had that, haven't you? Ugh. If only I had time to edit that part out. Anyway, so this is a 25-point difference now. Oh, well, no, I suppose it's these two so it's a 20-point difference. And hang on, what? National Guard got... Okay. So they've actually changed the whole reservist trait to be better. It used to be that reservists would convey some pretty horrible malices to you, which I'm going to show. I just need to make sure I get the same stuff going on. There's also been some changes to satchels brought in courtesy of Tally. So satchels used to throw 5 satchels before they make the maximum amount of noise, which is the amount needed to be, light up like a Christmas tree. And now after 2 satchels, you'll be able to see them more easily after they throw satchels, basically. What was I checking? If only I had more time. Oh yeah, so in game knowledge. So there's a tab here called game knowledge. It's a bit out of date, but anyway, reservist. Where are you? Right. In game knowledge, reservist. Traits. Reservist. So what reservists used to do is give you a 50% suppression damage, 20% aim time, minus 5% static accuracy, minus 5% motion accuracy, and 15% reload time. So the 15% reload time by itself is 15% less DPS. Then you've got the less accuracies, which is another 5% less DPS, but the way these combine is, not additive. Then you've got the aim time, which means less DPS, and the fact that you're always suppressed means less DPS. So they fixed that now, so that now the militia units get the old reservist debuffs, and the reservist units get reduced accuracy and more suppression in combat. The real question is, have they bothered to add it to the stat card? Because that was always the problem, that it's not on the stat card. They've just removed the accuracy value. But no, because the M2HB should have 5% less accuracy, right? If this is correct and it's still got reduced weapon accuracy, it should have 5% less accuracy than the other one. So they've still not added it to the stat card. But you can't put flags in your name anymore. Woohoo! So the National Guard M60 TTSs have gotten a bit cheaper, and I mean, and they've gotten a bit better because the trait has changed. So that's interesting. So it does have less accuracy, but it doesn't tell you. It does take more suppression, but it doesn't tell you. They've changed it, but they haven't bothered to fix it. And so it's not really like my hairline's not too bad, right? Because they call it a forehead because you can put 4 fingers between your eyebrows and your hair. So it's not going yet, but it's definitely thinner than it used to be. My dad's bald, so it's an inevitability, really. I'm not paying for it to be fixed. I'll just cope. Anyway, so this is better now. So 35th, 9th has been buffed, which doesn't need the buffs really, but 35th has been buffed, which definitely did need the buffs, and all reservists have been buffed, right? I'm doing everything in the wrong order. I just need to remember to so like 30, 40 reservists. So the biggest change for a lot of people is going to be the changes to the reservist trait. It used to be that the reservist trait would give you plus 50% suppression damage, plus 20% aim time, minus 5% static accuracy, minus 5% motion accuracy, and plus 15% reload time. They have now fixed that so that there are now 2 different traits. Militia, for like literally the KDA Schutzens of the world, who get the old reservist trait, and reservist, who get reduced weapon accuracy and take more suppression in combat. Sadly, the reservist trait is still not displayed on the stat card, so they've reworked it and they still haven't fixed the main problem, which is that you can't tell what it does. So even though reservist gives you less motion accuracy, less static accuracy, it doesn't tell you. It doesn't tell you. And the tooltip is actually correct. They have actually fixed that, but they don't say how much it is. And it's not listed here. These weapons have the same accuracy, even though they're not the same. So sorry, that part will be cut out and put in to the right place if I remember. Sorry, I don't have a lot of time here. And yeah, so the M60s all got a bit faster. The little birds got buffed, which makes sense really because they were kind of useless. People were bringing them, and it was just sort of a throw unit. There's still a lot of those, but now you get a lot more of these in 82nd, but mainly in 101st Airborne, right? That's the one where it matters a bit more. So you get 7 of these, or you can get 5 at max vet, and you get 6 of these, or you can get 4 at max vet. The Recon National Guard... Sorry, I keep hiccuping. Hilo has had its price go down by 10 points. So OH, yeah, so this was like, this used to be the same price as this used to cost more than the Gazelle, because it used to be 40, even though the Gazelle is better because it's faster and it's not reservist. Not that suppression matters too much on a unit with 4 HP, but it doesn't matter. So now it's 30, which makes a lot more sense. You're welcome. And the Recon Scout has had its availability go up to 4. So this was kind of a weird problem that they had in 9th and some other divisions, where it just made absolutely no sense to bring this when you could bring this, which had more availability. Now they have the same. Now they need to fix this one, really. Although it has exceptional optics, so it's a bit different. So this is a buff for all these American divs now have 4 availability on their recon helo, which is sensible, really, because, so the Gazelle is 4. So all the Brits had 4, all the French had 4, all the Germans had 4, all the Pact had 4, but America had 3. So now America's been brought in line. They renamed the Prowler, so the big question on the Prowler is, did they actually fix the unit? Why isn't this in alphabetical order? Surely 6 would be... where is 6th American? Oh, I see, it's grouped by... Okay, so it should be... No, it's grouped by nation, but they're still not in alphabet. They're in numerical. Okay. Where's the Prowler? I don't know. These patch notes things don't seem to work properly, but basically the Prowler used to have a big problem where it's clearly not coming up with the name changes. It's not a big deal. We do what we can. So now it's called something else. The main problem it used to have is that it couldn't actually shoot at enemy AA because I mean, we might as well just test it. Let's try it on the new map. It didn't used to be able to shoot at enemy AA properly because the cone of the missile was too... I don't have time for this. The cone of the missile. So if you imagine this is the plane, right? Yeah, that's your plane. And the AA is down here, you know. So this is Ivan. The cone of the seed was not wide enough for how far the plane flew. So it would... the first shot... Oh, great. Okay, whatever. The first shot would hit Ivan, or miss him, most likely. Then the plane would move, and then the next shot wouldn't be able to hit him, and then Ivan would just kill you even though you're looking right at him, because the cone of the missile wasn't good enough, because it was taken from a different plane which flew lower, where this wasn't as much of a problem. But if you fly higher, then obviously it becomes a problem more quickly, right? So did they fix it? Well, who knows? We'd have to get a data miner to check, or we can just check ourselves. Dead easy. What you do is you get some OSAs in or something. And remember to stay positive in these trying times where they just panic drop a patch on BA launch day. Don't give you any time to prepare. Whew. Imagine if I had a job and wasn't a massive loser. How would I cope? I've taken some time off from the PhD to play Broken Arrow, so... Raven 4, waiting for action. So we're now going to see if they fixed it. They've changed the name. Have they fixed the behavior? Before, you could only ever shoot one rocket at them because you would immediately become, you know, the cone thing that I just tried to explain to you. So let's see if they fixed it. Right, is it going to shoot the second one? Yes! I think they fixed it. I think they fixed it. No, I don't... Have they... I'm going to have to ask a data miner. They might have fixed it, they might not. I mean, I'm sorry it was inconclusive. But, what do I even do now? Because he's just evac'd from stress. Stress on miss, which these planes take. We'll wait again, and we'll try again. I mean, you can just skip this part. It's all time-stamped. Is it? Do I have the time? Wouldn't it be cool if I could display my flag, which I've been able to do in Eugen games for, you know, at least since Red Dragon. I didn't play the earlier ones in multiplayer. So, no, it's still bugged. You can't shoot the missile. I'm just getting evoked. So they haven't fixed it. They've just changed the name. Look, it's not shooting the missile. It's not shooting the missile. So, that did fire 2. I don't know, they might have changed it slightly. It used to just shoot 1, but this is obviously an idealized scenario, and so on. I surrender. F-16 LGBT price came down. F-16 cluster price came down. There was some bug they added. I'll try and find it. It was on the F-16s. Maybe it got fixed. So like this is HE and cluster, so they've called it HE and cluster. This is just cluster, so they've called it HE. So this is the bug. Might come up when we cover the Dutch. If I get that far, I'm going to have to do a cut here, man. I need to eat something. Right, I'm feeling a bit less annoyed now. So, the Prowler, we don't know if it's fixed, but they've changed the name. The LGBT got cheaper. That's a case for a lot of these things. Basically, the LGBTs were like quadruple nerfed. Because, yeah, the reload time went up, the power of them went down, they went from 2 cards to 1 card, and they all became really expensive, and now they're starting to come down a bit. So this one is apparently 260 now, the F-16 CG. And, you know, some of the other ones have come down, but not many. I think it might have just been this one looking at this, actually. The F-16 cluster got cheaper, so yeah, this is the one that is not that good. Not that good payload. So the payload's not great. The main advantage is it reloads in 60 seconds, and it really shouldn't have cost 245, so that's come down. Airborne Engineer's Flash got cheaper because the issue with Flash is that it only comes on small squads apart from like one CV on 101st, which gets Flash in quite a chunky squad. And they should really not be... Yeah, it's got a machine gun, so it's not the same thing, right? But the fact that it was 50 was just stupid, really. So now it's 45, so some nice 80-second buffs there for our resident 80-second player. All 50 cal machine gun teams got 5 points cheaper. So I spoke about this a long time ago, and I'm glad that they finally fixed it. I'm trying to find one that's got all 3. Yeah, so basically there was no reason to... So this is 15 men for 4 HP, and the DPS is about a third less than this, which was 35 men for 4 HP. And so there was just never any reason to bring this, especially given that you can get the same availability at 1 vet, and then that deals with the DPS problem. So now that this is 30, it might be a bit more worth it to bring, we'll see. We'll see, right? So that will help this unit, and it applies to all the like the NSVs and all that as well, and the Brit 50 cals and so on. So those are all the 50 cals, and then National Guard Stinger got more expensive. So this is because it's because of the changes to the well, hang on. Because of the changes to the Reservist trait. Although the Reservist trait still makes the accuracy lower, allegedly. Reservists have reduced weapon accuracy. So it was like the aim time on these was so high as to be not fantastic at all. So I guess now that they've fixed that, well, the stat card wouldn't tell you, I don't know, 40 points for that. And it's actually 40% accuracy. Compare it to the Javelin. Just 35 points, and it's... Yeah, okay, fair enough. I mean, it does more damage, and yeah, so 40 points, I think, is probably worth. And then the 155mm towed howitzer got a little bit more expensive. The American one was 115, even though it's a stat clone of the British one, and the German one. They're all stat clones. It's kind of weird that this was cheaper. This is cheaper because it's crap. It's got less fire rate and less range, which means the dispersion at the same range is kind of awful. Yeah, so Recon National Guard ACAV, so this was the one off 6th. Sorry guys, I just keep making mistakes. Like I said, I've not got time for this. I've got to finish the video about 2 to 3 hours before Broken Arrow comes out so that I can render it, and so that I can release it before the Broken Arrow stream, and it's just a massive mess, man. They've put me in a very difficult position. Anyway, this was kind of useless at 40 points. I mean, it's Reservist. Reservist doesn't matter as much now, but... sorry, at 40... What? Oh, it's this one. Okay, whatever. So this has come down in price by 5 points, and this has come down in price by 10 points. Yeah, so these were just massively over nerfed. There were so many things that are just better, and so now they've come down in price a little bit, so that's nice. And then the Duster got buffed, so the Duster's a bit better at doing its job now. So it shoots a bit further at aircraft, because if you compare it to like the Bofors or something, that's the upgraded one, my bad. Like why is the Bofors on the ground shooting further than the Bofors on the thing? Do you know what I mean? So it's good that the Duster got a little bit better. It usually just doesn't even engage aircraft because it just can't. And then something just for 35th is that the command CV veterancy went up, hooray. And the Little Bird veterancies went down, but we spoke about them getting more availability. And yeah, the Recon ACAV availability went up. Sorry, I don't think I mentioned that. And then, yeah, all of the Little Birds, the veterancies changed. So I'm not sure if these are buffs or nerfs. If you're a 101st expert, you'll know whether or... Because I'm pretty sure you just couldn't bring it at this veterancy before. I'll tell you what we can do. We can check it on YS. Really useful tool, this, thanks to Tally and Toucan. So yeah, okay, so this actually got worse. And these, yeah, so they've just unlocked the veterancy below, basically. And, yeah, they nerfed the Cobras. They nerfed the Cobra guns by increasing the reload time, which decreases the gun fire. It's a shame, because the Cobra guns weren't very good. Anyway, I mean, they were good, but they weren't amazing. So all Cobra guns have been nerfed, not in the patch notes. This is why we use this. And the DAPS miniguns aim faster now, but in the last patch they nerfed miniguns. So miniguns aren't good anymore anyway. But it seems that the Apache gun, which is also on the DAP, is untouched, it seems, because otherwise it'd be here. Yeah, great. So, is that it for the Americans? Please tell me it is. Great. No offense, Americans. I'm in a hurry, as you might imagine. Hang on, what? Oh, 320. So the UK got some nerfs as well, but some buffs too. To like fourth UK got better. First UK got different. Second UK got nerfed. First UK got a bit of a buff actually. So the Centurion Mark 12 AVRE 105 on 4th Armoured was just kind of stupid before, in that it had, so this is like a trash tank, but it had like good tank availability. So it used to have like it used to have Chieftain Mark 9 availability, I think it was, 853. We can check it on YS. Oh, man. So yeah, thank you for watching this video, if you're even watching it. I mean, Broken Arrow's coming out, who cares? It's just... What? Oh yeah, they've given it the tags. So it used to have like, it used to have just like no tag here, and now it's got its actual heat tag, which is what it was shooting anyway. So that's good. I've got too many tabs open. So it used to be 853 like the Chieftains, and now it's 12860 like it should be. So that's a good change. And there's more changes for 4th, which are not listed here. So the Chieftain Mark 6-2 had its availability go up as well, because before it was like the only tank in the game that went 930, and now it goes 9640. Also the sorry, I've got flies in my room. So that's a buff to that, because before it was just really dumb. It had like a very bad availability curve. Now you can actually afford to vet it, which you have to if you actually want it to do anything. Shoot slower than a T-55. And yeah, the supply cost apparently is now 1,050 for the Centurion gun. Great. Javelins got cheaper. The M107A2 got nerfed. This thing is the worst heavy howitzer in the game because it has heavy howitzer fire rate, but it has so this is what you would call a so like the M109 is like a big howitzer, whatever. But it's got the fire rate. I don't know how to explain it. It's got the HE of the M109 more or less, but it's got the fire rate of the Malco, which just does way more damage. So you see that they, the reload time's slightly better, but the HE is just way worse. And so now they've made it go at 40 kilometers an hour and made it turn way slower, so it can get counter batteried more easily, and reduced its road speed. Thanks, Eugen. The Javelin LML got a small buff to its aim time. It used to be 2.8 seconds before, now it's 2.5. Is that in the patch notes? No. And, yeah, so that's it for 4th Armoured. Oh yeah, the swing fire. So there's two... So this was another sort of discrepancy. So this is just way better than this. There's no reason to ever bring the FV438 Swingfire, or at least there wasn't before. It's got more missiles, sure, but the salvo length on the Striker's higher, so it'll shoot the rockets faster. It's got 2 armor on the front and side, so it can survive kinetic rounds at max range from a lot of things. It's almost twice, okay, it's significantly faster and has a faster road speed. And so the Swingfire is just garbage. So at the very least, they made the Swingfire 5 points cheaper. It's still not really worth bringing. Compare that to a BMP2. But at least there might be a point in its existence now. And yeah, so other UK changes. Let's cover First UK next. So First UK got some very small buffs to... So like the base warrior got cheaper to make it more worth bringing, and this has happened to all the autocannon vehicles that come without ATGM variants. Sadly, Pact apparently always had ATGMs on their BMP2, and it's not like it's a video game. So sadly, we're not allowed choices in life, because in World War III, which didn't happen, apparently they all had Conkers, and they never ran out of ammo. They never ran out of ammo, right? There were never situations where there wasn't enough ammo in World War III. Right, because, in war, everybody just marches in with the perfect TOE. And so the BMP2s always have Conkers, so they're always going to be expensive. Great. Warrior is now 10 points cheaper than the Milan variant, whereas it used to be more cheaper. Also, in terms of IFV changes, the reload time on IFV ATGMs has gone up for all of them. So you see it's 8 for the Milan, but 12 for the IFV. So this was actually... We can't talk about who suggested these changes, but whoever did that must have been really smart and cool, and he must have lots of friends. And everybody must subscribe to his YouTube channel, if he has one, hypothetically, Anyway, so the Warrior got cheaper, and then these guys had their availabilities go up, because it was just retarded before, it was just silly before. So they're still lower than they should be, really, but whatever. You can at least bring 4 at one vet now, whereas was it like 2 before or something? Let's use War Yes to check. Oh. Okay, it was the prices that changed, not the availability. Well, that shows you what I know. Clearly, I'm regurgitated. And the Challenger CV got 10 points cheaper because the Challenger itself got cheaper before, and this hadn't changed. So now there should be the same amount of... Yeah, now there's a 40-point gap. There's a 30-point gap between these because these are medium tanks. So that's it for First UK. Terrier Paras got slightly cheaper, but no more available, my bad. And the Javelins got cheaper. Javelin LML aim time came down. Second UK got some significant nerfs, pretty significant nerfs. So Air Mobile got more expensive by 5 points, which is not the end of the world, really. Wow, as if they've done this again. Looks like all M270s had their ground minimum range increase again, even though in the last patch they fixed it to make it come back down. Let's check the American ones. Not in the patch notes, why would it be? You don't need to know about this. It's not important. It's not important, apparently. You're only going to notice that in every 1v1 game you play. Anyway, I'll try and be less doomer. I'm sorry. So the Air Mobile got a bit more expensive. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it is. You will feel it over the course of the game. And this div was cracked, right? So basically, now you can spam these out. You can still buy 2 in a minute, so that's a big one. But like this would have been 100 before, and this would have been 125 before. So now these cost the same as these, because you see this has 2 MGs, this has 3, but these guys have the Cargo stuff. I don't understand why these guys come at less availability. I think it's because they're just classed as engineers, even though this doesn't shoot a HE rounds, which would be really cool, wouldn't it? But why do that? Broken Arrow does it, maybe they'll copy them now. Anyway, they added the new militia trait to HSF, so HSF are as bad as they used to be. So it's reservist and militia. So they just have their old stats, from what I understand. Whereas something that's just reservist, and Terriers escape that because they've got good stuff going on. Oh yeah, that's something that I forgot from 4th UK. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. They added, and this is a pretty big deal, they added the Saxon as an option to the Terriers. So in 4th UK, the whole point is that you just spam out loads of trash. And so now you've got a pretty decent 20-point vehicle. Like now that it's got the ammo, but it's fast, it's got smoke. It's fast, it's got smoke. That's what matters. And it's got a gun that can actually shoot for more than 2 minutes. So now you get more trash for your weight of trash. If you're wondering what I mean by this, there's a really good game on my channel that I play against a really good player called Arex, who's also a generous channel joiner, generously joinering the channel. I think I already did that shilling. Really good game of 4th UK. It just shows off 4th UK pretty much perfectly, what you have to do as 4th UK to win. And you see how I'm building up a big blob here in order to attack? This would now have Saxons with the Terriers, which would really help the mass, the trash mass. I wish my drip was as good as my older brother's. Anyway, so that was a nerf to this. The main nerf is that they lost a card of challenges, which I've been asking for a long time, right? So ever since the availability on this went up, you were able to bring 8 of them at one vet on what is ostensibly a light division, and that was just ridiculous. So now you can only bring 5. So in 1v1, the second UK player doesn't also get infinite heavy tanks. Like 8 challenges on a light division. So that's been fixed. And these guys already had the Saracen here. So that's second UK nerfs. Removed Sneb. What? That would just be some tags thing behind the scenes. This is still 3 per card, which is regurgitated. Yeah, these got nerfed as we spoke about. Number of cards 2-1. So that's it for the UK. So what have we not covered here? So Centurion, Command Challenger, Warrior, Air Mobile, 50 cal. We already spoke about that. So that's an MBAD. The 50 cals all got cheaper. The Rover's got buffed. So that's a pretty big buff actually. The Rover's getting buffed. And you can, if you upvet them, you get more of them. Never upvet your supply. Yeah, so now it turns a lot faster and moves a lot faster. So that's great. And given that it turns when it's on roads, it's going to get to places faster. This is a big deal. You should be happy. Also affects MBAD, because they get these commands as well. MBAD will have had some other changes to, like, yeah, the other stuff. So we'll get to... Well, we might as well cover MBAD now. So the FS Jaeger got cheaper, the minimum range on stuff. The Parascorpion and Parascimitar, this is classed as Belgian, right? They got medium stealth, which they should have, because if you look at, the Scorpion, it's like this has got mediocre stealth, so why wouldn't this, which is literally the same. So there you go, this now has mediocre stealth, so that means your trash spam on MBAD is going to be pretty powerful now, because it's all got mediocre stealth. Or at least 24 of them do. So they're going to be a lot harder to spot. It's going to be a lot harder to fight these guys. Their rovers are faster. A lot of their guys come in rovers. Rovers are faster now. So that's a big deal. They changed satchels, so satchel noise is higher, so satchels get revealed more easily after throwing satchels. Paraminstrel's got more expensive, which is a shame, but whatever. The Krakatoa got cheaper, so this was kind of, it was kind of dumb that it wasn't cheaper before, because, like, it's like a Conker's Jeep, except it's slower. It's got more accuracy, right? So it's kind of weird for that to be 60. So now it's 50. Now it's 55, yeah. Okay. And the Javelin LML got a little bit better. The Weasel has 20mm on it, right? And some of the planes got a bit differenter. So the FS MG3 got its availability curve fixed. F-16 AA2 got cheaper. So this is the Dutch shotgun plane is a little bit cheaper now. So that's great news for MBAT. You won't feel it. The main thing is that this is 3 availability now, like most other rocket planes. So that's great. And it seems that the NF cluster got a little bit more expensive because, yeah, it was pretty stupid. And it seems that the guns on it got better, so... Great, now we have to deal with that. So have fun playing against 4th Dutch, which got its own nerfs, we'll get to it. And, okay, so now let's talk about West Germany, so 2nd Panzer, 5th Panzer, TKS... So all Leopard 1s got buffed, apart from the Leopard 1A1, which got more expensive. So that'll affect various German divisions. I'm really sorry, guys. I'm just so tired. I had to get up to do this, and I'll stop complaining. It's such a great opportunity. I'm so glad to be here. Let me know. Would you have preferred no video? Because that's your option. That's your other option. No video or pajama hippie. Yeah, let's start with 2nd Panzer. The Jaguar 2 was removed from this division. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not, but it was, and I think that's a necessary nerf. So, basically, the Jaguar 2 is this, but with a TOW 2. You're now forced to bring the Jaguar 1, or the Striker. Before, it was just you'd never brought these because you would always bring the Jaguar 2. So now you will now see this unit in the video game, because before nobody would ever bring this, because why would you? Just bring the Jaguar 2. There were certain team game, if you're in a team game on Cyrus as 2nd Panzergren, you might want to bring the Jaguar 2 and the Jaguar 1. I've certainly seen that done, but apart from that, nobody ever saw it. So Jaguar 2 removed. I'm not sure that was intentional. And the Panzer Grenadiers... never mind. And the FS Jaeger got a little bit cheaper because they were just stupidly overpriced. Basically, they were priced according to division to nerf 2nd Panzergren. Previous Balance Man just made this unit stupidly expensive. And now it's being brought into line with the other units, and divisional balance will be done by nerfing divisions, as opposed to nerfing individual units, which end up in multiple divisions. It was quite a short-sighted approach. At the time, I suppose it could have made more sense, because there was no MBAD. All Leopard 1s changed, so the Leopard 1A1 got more expensive, whereas the Leopard 1A5 got cheaper. And the command tanks changed to benefits, like this is a 20-point difference, and this is actually a 15-point difference, so they forgot this one. This should be 5 points more. Nobody brings it anyway. The Leopard 2A3 command variant got cheaper, so this is now 40-point difference on a heavy tank between the command and the regular. The... What? What? Is it only that one? The M109 German got buffed, apparently. Okay. Okay, yeah, why not? M109... So the M109 regular, and then the M109 German, which now aims faster, has a higher fire rate. It already had more range. All that for 5 points more. They should make it 10 points more, really, if they're going to do that. So the German howitzer got buffed. That's also buffed to 11th ACAV. And I think that's because, right, so if you look at the 155mm, it's now just got identical stats to the Toad one. But this doesn't have identical stats to that. Third one shoots faster. So what's going on there? Anyway, it's a buff to the Germans. I'm not sure if it's intentional or what, but there you go. German howitzer better now. Great. Have fun, Germans. And this got cheaper, so this is something I've been complaining about since forever. The M577. So like this was just 5 points more than the other ones, and now it's the same. But then this one is still slower, even though it's the same as this one. So now they need to make this one faster because they're literally all the same. So they should make this 5 kilometers an hour faster. It's just Americans drive on the wrong side of the road, so that's why it's slower. Leopards got cheaper, one got more expensive. The Scharfschütze availability went up, so this is just such a dog unit, honestly. Nobody brings this. So it's good that the availability went up, because it's not actually a sniper, it's a DMR, and now its availability has gone up. And if you upvet your supply, you get more supply. Never upvet your supply. Also, it's worth noting that all the M48s, which are on TKS and so on, they've been buffed. So, hang on, what? Oh, speed. The speed has gone up, and the reservist trait is not as horrifically debilitating anymore. So they'll be a bit more useful. They're like the only tank in the game that doesn't have motion accuracy, even though... So basically, even if you don't have a stabilizer, they still give you 5%, so that you can still aim while on the move. You know, you can still turn your turret to face the enemy while on the move, basically, because the way that works. So the fact that it's not got even a 5% stabilizer is a problem, and I wish they'd fix it. So that's it for 2nd Panzergren. 5th Panzer, same things. A lot of the same things. The Leopard 2A4C got more expensive, so that's fair enough, really. Because it was just absurd. It one-shots 3 armor or 4 armor? Kinetic is armor 10 plus HP 10 plus 4. Hang on, what? Armor is not 10, it is 3 on a... Right, plus HP is 10 plus 4. What? No, is that right? No, it's plus 8. It's 8. 8 plus 4 is 12. Yeah, this one-shot's a warrior at max range. And at 1 pip below max range, it one-shots a BMP2. And at 2 pips below max range, so 1925 meters, it one-shot a Marder 183. So... yeah, they're a bit more expensive now, as they should be. I mean, it was just stupid. You compare it to like the M1A one, and it used to cost less than the M1A one. I suppose the side armor, right? But the pen, it's about the pen. It matters a lot. So yeah, they fixed that. But yeah, the Leopard 2A4C can be one shot by Conkers. Spoke about this, spoke about this, spoke about this, spoke about this. The Roland 2s and Roland 3s got smoke because they didn't have it before, even though it was on the model. And the price has gone up as a result of that. So now you can... Okay, these are the smoke canisters back here. These are the smoke canisters back here. Okay. So now they have smoke and they're 5 points more to compensate. That's all good. TKS, right? The BGS guys now have militia as opposed to... What? I thought you needed militia and reservist. These are just classed as militia. They won't take additional suppression anymore? Alright, whatever. Isn't that a buff? I think that's a buff. Because basically they've got half of the old reservist trait now. It's the worst half, but it's still half. Satchels all changed, right? The command CV on the M48's got cheaper. The M48's got a little faster, still no stabilizers. The Gazelle cannon, I suppose this is classed as French, now has... Wow, Gina availabilities went up. Interesting. The Gazelle cannon now has more availability, because before it was just kind of dumb, because the Polish one, Poland got a lot of buffs, by the way. This was 4, and everybody else's was 3 with the autocannons. So that goes 4-3. And this one now goes for 2, so it's still worse. It's a step in the right direction. And then the Genas have gotten better, allegedly. So now you might actually want to bring these. The way I played TKS before, I just wasn't bringing these. So the thing is that the Genas are 6 HP, so their availability's gone up to match like the limb. But then these are 6 HP and the availability hasn't gone up, even though they're also 6 HP. I mean, they've got 10% ECM, but like, who gives a toss? Alright, whatever. So now you're not going to bring the Alpha Jets, but you might bring the Genas. Like, this one at the start of the game is going to be an absolute menace, so just pumping out 5 of those and going all over the place, yeah. That'll be pretty funny. Basically, you'll just use it to reveal enemy AA positions, and then this'll donk them. It's basically what we were already doing with these, but they're only 3 availability. They're a bit more survivable, though, because they fly so high. And, yeah, Gino's got buffed, great. So, I think that's it for West Germany. FS Jaeger. Yeah, oh, Polizei Reserve. The Scharfschütze availability went up. The Polizei Reserve is in Berlin Command. And we spoke about, so like the Bofors L70 apparently had 3 HP before, now S4, but it's got the minimum range. Alright, whatever. The M109 got buffed. The German M109 got buffed, but the other ones didn't. And they removed the Jaguar too. France. So, France, the autocannon got cheaper. And the autocannon got cheaper. And, you know, the IFV changes that apply to everybody. Let's just do it division by division, it'll be easier. So the Brennus got more expensive. Oh yeah, 5E I think was nerfed quite a bit. So this is great, hooray, 5E nerfed, finally. Second UK nerfed, 5E nerfed, second Panzergren nerfed, all the heavy ones getting hit. Fourth Dutch nerfed, the T-72 divs were all nerfed, the Reservist divs got a bit better. It's a really good bounce patch. I just wish they hadn't released it today. And yeah, so 5E got nerfed. The point slots on the arty went up, and the point slots on the tanks went up. So my old 5E deck will be basically crushed a bit. So do you see how? It's the same. Because they made the arty more expensive, which nobody cares about. And they made the tanks more expensive. I must have had 1 AP spare or something. Alright, well, it hasn't changed my 5E deck at all, so who gives a toss? And what? How's that happened? Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, the Sublinde got a nice new image. Check that out. Sublinde RC looks very pretty now. And the regular AMX RC looks pretty. I mean, that new division coming out in South, that guys, is a bunch of AMX 10s, right? So presumably that's why. But yeah, my div hasn't changed at all because of the way I was building it. So I guess you're not going to notice. Like, who cares? I was talking to a guy who was absolutely mauling about this. Oh, it's worn over. It hasn't changed my deck at all. I won't embarrass him by saying who it is. It was Tiberius Rancor. So sorry. And yeah, so the Brennus got 20 points more expensive, and apparently the image texture on the gun has changed. Okay, I mean, it's clearly a bug. And the CVs got a bit cheaper. All the autocannons on the tanks got nerfed a bit, right? So that's why it's all coming up here. The HE of the EBG went up, but not... Okay, well, that's fine. I mean, nobody was bringing that anyway. The command chasseurs had their CV prices increased. The 50 cal got cheaper. The Minstrel got more expensive. The Rowan 2s and 3s got their... Sorry, they got their smoke. So they got their smoke, which is great. Great news. And the Grenadier Voltigeurs got a little bit worse because in Berlin Command they had this availability, but in this division they had a better availability. The autocannon on the Gazelle cannon got nerfed a lot. That's a huge... Look at the true rate of fire. It's basically halved. The Gazelle cannon was absolutely absurd, man. I mean, it was really stupid. So now this won't shoot as fast, right? So it won't just delete entire openers. It's still very good. Still very good. It's still better than the packed one. For the same price. So yeah, Brenner's got more expensive. Some of the small changes. Roland's got smoke, which is a pretty big deal. And that's it for 5e. 152 easy. They lost all their motion accuracies, which is just... It's so stupid because even ones that don't have stabilizers are supposed to have motion accuracy. So what the hell are they doing? The outfit 155mm on 152 got cheaper a little bit. The command Alouette can no longer transport people. I didn't even know you could do that. Something weird has happened to the Alpha Jet on France. Let's find out together, shall we? So apparently I think the bombs used to be worse. I think the payload on this has been vastly increased. I think yeah, oh no, it's got worse. No, hang on. It used to be a T-25 with less. Okay, so it used to be 6 small bombs, now it's 4 big bombs. Great. So it's a buff because big bombs are better than small bombs, not only because they have better splash, but also because they reload. All bombs reload at the same rate, regardless of their explosive capacity. So you want fewer bigger bombs. Things that have loads of small bombs take a very long time to reload. Such as... Oh yeah, the Jaguar on second UK is a great example of this. Right, £2,000 payload, 4 bombs, 2-minute reload. £2,000 2,000 kilo payload. Sorry, roughly 8 bombs, 4-minute reload. And it's worse because of the splash. Even though the total payload capacity is the same, the splash on the individual bombs means it's worse. So small, bigger bombs is a buff. The GATs on all the helicopters got nerfed a bit. Minstrel's got a bit more expensive. Don't see anything else worth writing home about. 11E also nerfed because these don't have their motion accuracy anymore, which doesn't make any sense. But the Saggies got buffed. The Saggies got buffed, so that's a big deal. The Saggies getting buffed, and the LGBT got cheaper. The CV got 5 points cheaper because before it was. I'm sorry, it seems like I'm hurrying. It's because I am. The French Iltis used to be... What's it called? P4PC. So, like, it used to be just 5 points more for no particular reason. So now it's not. Now it's the same price. And yeah, you can update your supply. The LGBT on 11 Easy got a bit cheaper. Losing those motion accuracies is kind of weird. But yeah, the Saggy's getting cheaper, 10 points cheaper now. And this, I think, has come down. And the Recon one has come down. So buffs to 11E, definitely, because the Saggies are affordable now, more affordable. And it said something about the Sneb weapon itself changing, but I'm not sure what it means by that. Anyway, these are a bit cheaper now as well. So there you go, some nice 5e buffs. This has been called something else, apparently. Presumably ahead of the, you know, because more French units are coming and whatnot. And the Napalm got cheaper by 50 points because it is garbage. That was just a total noob trap. So yeah, 25 points cheaper on the LGBT. It's a substantial difference. You can now buy 1 in a minute. That's the main difference. You can now always buy this in a minute in Conquest because the income is 260. So this is your panic button. Oh, whoops. This is your panic button now. So you can just panic button them. Because now you can buy 1 in a minute, you don't have to save 25 extra points or whatever, which is quite a bit actually. So usually you had to save up for it specifically. Napalm getting 50 points cheaper because Napalm from planes in this game isn't very good. So that's a big buff. Recon Para SAS got cheaper, but the Minstrels got 5 points more expensive. So I guess those cancel each other out. But yeah, the Paras SAS are a proper good squad because they've got the satchels and they just run at you. This goes at 100, even though this goes at 90, and they are airborne forward deployed. So yeah, this is a proper chunky unit. And now it's a bit cheaper. So that's it for France. Have I missed anything? Don't think so. They renamed some planes. As we spotted one of them. The Magister got renamed, alright. Well. Netherlands got nerfed, so the Leopard 2A4C went up. We covered that with the Germans. The F-16s actually got cheaper, which is okay, fine. So the F-16A and the F-16A2. So these got 5 points cheaper each, which is all good, I guess. I mean, this one's 10 points more because it's got more missiles, right? So they got a bit cheaper, so hooray. And the F-16 cluster was renamed F-16HE. My game still freezes every time I alt tab, so they haven't fixed that. So now the F-16 cluster is called the F-16HE, and the F-16HE is called the F-16HE. So when you're facing the Dutch, you're screwed, because you see a HE plane and you don't know if it's going to kill your tank or if it's going to kill your infantry. So you got to click on it and read it. You don't really have time to do. Whatever, it's just a bug, right? It happens. And then the NF5A got buffed. All the NF5s got buffed. What the heck? Because their weapons are now doubled up. Except this one got more expensive, the cluster one got more expensive. So we covered this with MBAD a bit. Like, some of these are also in MBAD, so we covered it in the British section. But yeah, so this is better now, apparently, because it shoots twice as fast, but I'm not sure if it actually does, or if they've just changed the name. Somebody else will have to let me know. And, you know, the prices have changed. The cluster one is just on MBAD, so it doesn't affect 4th Dutch. The KCT Vinegar's price went up good. That was just such a stupid opener. So they've got ground surveillance radar and they've got AT, and it's like, this is supposed to be a late game heavy div, and they're also got this amazing early game. There's a reason somebody got to rank 1 by playing 100 games of this in a row and didn't lose a game. It's because it's a broken div. The main buff, main nerf, buff to my sensibilities, buff to society, but nerf to 4th Dutch, is that this is only 1 per card now, whereas it used to be 2. So you used to be able to spawn 6 at the start, which is what he was doing, and putting them in pairs, and just sending them out all over the place. And then you would still have a bunch left for the rest of the game. Now you get 4 for the whole game, and if you want additional optical vehicles, you have to bring this. So that's a good change. 50 cal got cheaper. Panzer infantry price decreased. Who let this one through? What the fuck? Oh my god. 90 multiplied by 3 is 270 points. 85 multiplied by 3 is 255 points. 255 points means you can buy 3 of these in a minute, and you can buy 3 of these in a minute, and you can buy 3 of these in a minute. So this division has actually been buffed, because this went down to 40 points. My heart will go on, and the availability of the Dragon one went up, so you can buy even more of them, and the 155mm got cheaper, and one of the imp slots got so the imp slots got all messed up, basically. This used to be the same as the Belgian one, I think, or was it better? Anyway, there used to be one more 1-pointer, one more 2-pointer. It's kind of weird how they've said it. So the imp slots have been nerfed. I'm using the wrong terminology. I do apologize. I'm just absolutely mauled in, man. There's things just everybody just let me win. Just let me win. Just let me win. Anyway, so the fourth Dutch, some nerfs, some buffs. I mean, it is overall a nerf to its early game capacity, but its late game capacity is actually, and its mid game capacity have been buffed. The leopard ones got, weren't they supposed to get more expensive? Maybe they did, and Alright, so they raised the price of the West German leopards, but not the Dutch ones, even though they're identical. So, fourth Dutch is going to be more of a pain. I mean, the early game will be less cool because they'll be able to afford fewer of these. And they'll only have 4 of these, and that was the main issue. The planes are all over the place. I couldn't tell you. This might be better, it might be worse. Now they have a stealth cluster plane that you don't know if it's a HE or a cluster on both of them. So that's a massive buff actually for 1v1 because you just won't be able to tell. This plane got cheaper. These planes I'm pretty sure got better because of the gun thing. And this got cheaper, so now you can buy 3 in a minute and you can just do that forever. But the slots got slightly more expensive. So I'm not actually convinced it's a nerf. I think you're going to be seeing a lot more of these guys on the ladder. The tank should have gone up in price, but it didn't. This did go up in price by a bit. And you know, I mean, just get me out. Let me out. Let me out. This has minimum range of 250 meters. It's one over. Belgian. Scorpions, scimitars, bad stealth, mediocre. Spoke about this. This is for bad. The Leopard 1A5. This is Belgium has had some pretty big buffs, which it does need. The Fusiliers have gotten cheaper, and the 50 cars have gotten cheaper. So now your forward deployment, because I wasn't even bringing those before; they were just pointless. So now you might want to bring those. I know a lot of noobs used to bring them, but now you can actually afford to bring them. And the sorry, I think some mail just got delivered or something. If you see somebody come up behind me and kill me, well, I guess you'll never see this video actually, but whatever. I'm just so done with this, man. Anyway, the leopard, actually big buffs for Belgium. They've now got 2 cards of this, which is the best leopard one in the game so far. So that's great news. And they get more cards of these if you actually want them, but you don't really need those. It used to be, you know, you'd basically bring 3 cards, and it used to be 2 of the bad one and 1 of the good one. So basically, these get less armor than the German ones, but they have more pen than the. This one has more pen than the German ones, and they always have max range. So that's it. It's a good, nice buffs for Belgium. This got cheaper, but it did for everybody. We already spoke about how this got better, right? This is still 265, but yeah, this is 3 per car. Now, you just never bring this, never bring this. But they're slowly making those napalm things a bit cheaper, right? The Pioneers came down in price, the RL83 and the regular Pioneers, so that's great news for Belgium. Great news for Belgium. Pioneer Flam, just never bring it, man. It's just not good. The Hand Flam Patron, which is what this is the worst napalm thrower in the game. But yeah, these guys got cheaper. It's because the Uzis make them kind of crap, to tell you the truth. But yeah, these guys got cheaper. Great, great. Nice buffs, nice buffs. Spoke about the Leopards. Prices came down and availabilities went up. Command Pioneers got cheaper. Alright. Nobody brings that one anyway, because you want the smoke. Or you want the forward deployment. Mainly you want the smoke. And reservists aren't as bad anymore, which is a massive buff to the Belgians and the Dutch because they both get 2 cards of reservists. The Dutch ones are better because they call them, are they called naters in the Dutch service? Yeah, I forgot to mention that under the Dutch. I do apologise. These guys are just way better now because the reservist trait was nerfed. I mean, it was made less impactful. So this is a much better squad now, and the price didn't change. I mean, we'll see how that goes later on. But yeah, minstrels went up. So yeah, that's cool, right? There's a really weird change that they put in, which must be a bug, where they basically so all supply in the game is 6,000 supply, but now this is 9,000. This is the only supply card in the game that has 9,000 supply. I mean, excluding like fobs, right? All the others are 6,000 in a card. This is 9,000, and you get two of them. So massive Belgian buffs there means that you can just. So where's my Belgian deck? I'm going to be playing a lot more Belgium. Actually, I'm going to be playing Broken Arrow. So this was my old Belgian deck, right? And now we can bask in the glow of getting rid of this and getting this, and now I've gotten 18,000 supply and two cards, which you'd usually need three cards for. And the reservists are better, and the pioneers are cheaper. And here, right, now I can swap this one out for this, and now I can have two cards of the good Leopard 1A5. Hooray! These aren't too bad, to tell you the truth. And yeah, I mean the autocannons are a little worse. The minstrels are a little bit more expensive, but this is now 3 per card, so you can bully people in the early game. Great, great. I mean, maybe these are worth bringing now, but probably not, to tell you the truth. Hooray! Belgian buffs. Some of which definitely should, like, this thing clearly didn't make much sense. And, yeah, the rovers on Luxembourg got better, right? So now we're going to talk about Pact. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be here forever. I don't have time for this. I said I'd do it quickly. Why is it taking so long? We're just going to have to zoom through this. Nobody cares about this anyway. So the Command T62s, their prices went down. So that's just bringing tank prices into line, right? The TO55 got buffed. The TO55 right now is absolutely cracked. And now they've given it an extra gun. They need to raise the price of this. It can't stay at 85. This needs to go up to 90. And the regular T55 needs to go up to 85. They're absurd. They shoot faster than chieftains. You always bring them at least one vet, so it's 9 rounds a minute. It shoots as fast as a challenger. It's just stupid. So yeah, have fun dealing with that. 119Y buffed basically. T62MK and MDK they're on TKS, sorry, KDA and 56Y, and they got cheaper, so that's buffs to those two divs. The MiG-27Ks, I think those are on 56Y. They were stupidly cheap for no apparent reason. No thank you. They got more, yeah, 56Y, they got more expensive. The TikTok fighter went up good. That was just a stupidly, like, so if you're gonna just make the units cost what they should. And if the div is weak, buff the div. 157Y has been buffed massively this patch because the reservist trait is less impactful, which means that have fun dealing with that. 10 million reservisty attack. Anyway, so this is actually the same. This is just way better than the Eagle, and it's the same price, right? It's got a better turn-in circle. It's got less ECM. It is slower, but it's got a better turn-in circle, which means if they fight each other, it gets shots off on the merge, and the Eagle doesn't. After the merge, they come back around for each other, and the TikTok will kill you, and the Eagle won't be able to shoot back. The long-range missiles shoot further and have more accuracy. The short-range missiles have more suppression, and the other stats are the same. And it gets a third bank of missiles, which it also shoots. So it gets, like, it gets 4 missiles off before the merge, I'm pretty sure, because that R27T is fire and forget, which means it gets 2 of those off, 1 R27R and 1 R73. I'm pretty sure it gets 4 off before the merge. It's absurd. It's an absurd plane. It should be even more expensive than it already is. Actually, they should just make the Eagle cheaper. The Su-27S went up, same argument. Like, why is this cheaper than an Eagle even though it's better? Missiles go further, better turn in circle gets you on the merge, short range missiles better, long range missiles better, guns better, more damage but less ammo, and more missiles, right? Better turn in circle, but less ECM and slower. And it's like it's more range on the long range, more accuracy on the long range, whatever. Then we've got, yeah, the 50 cals got cheaper, 50 cals got cheaper, 50 cals got cheaper. Prisvniki, so this 157Y is going to be a pretty scary div this patch, I think. So autocannons have been nerfed, which is the natural counter to these sort of reservist spam. And these guys didn't get the militia trait, but these guys did. So these guys are as bad as they used to be, but these guys aren't. So just don't bring this anymore. Don't bring this anymore. Oh, it's not rocket science, mate. Same of it. You can even upvet this one. This is still 15 points, even though it's reservist but not militia. So this got better. Just reservisty. Don't bother bringing the Privsniki anymore. They're bad. Or they're as bad as they used to be. These have just suddenly got way better. And it said RPK replaced by RPK 74. What's a regular RPK? Was it 762? If it was 762 before, I don't understand. Why are they getting top of the line equipment? Shouldn't they be on AKMs and 762? Why are they getting AK-74s as reservists? Why are they getting RPK-74s as reservists? Some Pactoid's going to pop out of the woodwork and tell me about how amazing the Soviet Union was. And then tell me I'm going to burn in hell forever because I said otherwise. I unironically get people telling me that. He said, I'm a bad Muslim because I said that Pact was OP in a video game. It's just... yeah, anyway. Reservist Okrana are militia, so these guys are classed as militia, but the reservisti aren't. So don't bring these. Nobody was bringing those anyway. Just bring the reservisti. Still 15 points, so now it's way better. Spetsnaz snipers, so these are more of the DMR guys. It's not on this division, but it's a DMR guy like we spoke about before. I don't have time for this. The Nona's got less HP, so they'll die a bit more. The Giat S got a bit worse. Okay. D20s got cheaper. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to summon the enthusiasm. So the Giat Sin is on 6YA and like 25th Soviet. You're not going to notice a change of 4 suppression. The real question is that all that happened to it? Because you know how these guys work. They say one thing. What? So no, it isn't all that happened to it. For some reason the Giat Sin isn't classed as being here. So the packed 152mm round has changed. It now gets less HE. No, hang on. There were some packed ones which had the old stats, and there were some packed ones which had the new stats despite them firing the same ammunition, and I think they fixed that. So if we just compare the D20 to the Acacia, we should see that they are now the same. Yeah, that's all they did. So that it used to be that some packed stuff just had better bullets coming out of the same things, and now the good one has been brought in line with the bad one, or you know, the less good one. Oh my gosh. Right. The 4 times PKT deals more damage than like an autocannon. It is absurd. 1 second. Damage calculator. Gazelle cannon versus chasseurs. I pick them because they're a 10-man squad. Voltigeurs. I pick them because they're a 10-man squad. Right. 1575 meters range. 89 seconds to kill with an autocannon. 200 meters range, 37 seconds to kill with 4 machine guns. Because usually when they have 2 machine guns, it's not double the damage. Here they've got 4 and it's just 4 times the damage. They just didn't bother changing it. So 4 PKTs deals more than twice the DPS of the French autocannon on the helicopter, which is the good one. MI2 US. 37 seconds to kill a 10-man squad. Sorry, I mean, it's not obviously not US, but that's just what they call it. MI2 RO. Autocannon costs more. 84 seconds to kill the same squad. So if you look at the Polish, which I'm sure we'll get to, this costs 20 points more because the autocannon's amazing. But actually, this with 4 PKTs and a worse vet curve for some reason, actually does more than twice the DPS of the autocannon one. Well, why not 8 PKTs? Why doesn't the BMP2 just have 16 PKTs on it? What was the point in developing the 30mm autocannon? There's clearly no point. There were Soviet projects where they had bombers that would just had a rack of machine guns at the back in World War II, and the idea was that you would just fly over them and just shoot them with the machine guns. It obviously didn't work. But it was literally like a Soviet World War II bomber with, look, 80 machine gun bomber, and they were all chained to one thing, so they would just pull one trigger and it would go, and it obviously didn't work, right? Anyway, but no, I mean, if you're playing Warno, this would be the best thing in the game. What can I say? I'm in a really good mood today. The burrito got cheaper, which is great. The clusters. So now they've finally added HE cluster to the game, which I think is a bad thing, really. I think it removes the ability to easily tell what something is. But whatever, I'm sure the museum enthusiasts will be happy. So this actually, yeah, so look, the HE, it's all changed. The M240, it's all changed. But if it keeps its old horrific firing angle, who knows, right? But basically, you can no longer dome tanks with this cluster thing. It's all changed. And, yeah, it's all changed. That's weird. This used to be a twin one, and now it's not on the MI27K. What? So the reason it was called a twin one was because it has 2 guns. One in the nose, and one down here. But maybe it doesn't. Maybe there's no one in the nose? Have the stats on it changed? We don't know. Anyway, the cluster thing on 56Y has been nerfed. Or it's been changed. Who knows what's really going on, man. Oh, okay, so if it's twin, it's called just 32... No, hang on. Okay, whatever. And also, all Yak Bs got buffed because the aim time went down. All Yak Bs got buffed because the aim time went down. And it seems that the Gvozdikas got that. So this used to deal 9 pen, and now it's 16 on 122mm heat because packed strong, packed strong, packed strong. NATO dogs cannot compete with the Soviet Union. Yeah, whatever. I mean, it doesn't really matter. So. And also the Urals got more HP. So apparently this used to be 5. I didn't even notice that, but great. That's good that they fixed it. Yeah, so that's it for... Okay, never mind. No, it's not. KS-130 got buffed, so this is on Rugener and 16Y... What? 157Y is what I meant to say. Okay, no, it's not. I think this is unique to this div. Anyway, it's better now. We'll see if it's any good. We'll see if it's any good. I mean, the ground range is like a tank gun, I guess. The base availability went up, and the... Whoa! Alright, yeah, apparently in the Soviet Union, They just, I don't understand why they ever bothered to develop missiles. Their guns go as far as the missiles do, so yeah. Anyway, it's still 10% accuracy, but you're gonna see them engage you like from across. You're gonna see them engage your planes. It's gonna be pretty interesting actually. We'll see what happens. Um, and the I love it when everything freezes. What is that? Okay, yeah, so these were forward deployed anyway, but now they've added it to the card so you can tell it's forward deployed. It's because it takes it from the unit that comes in it. This is a transport for an Igla squad. And so before it was forward deployed because the Igla squad was forward deployed, and now it's forward deployed still because the Igla's forward deployed, but it will still at least tell you that this is supposed to be forward deployed. And then we've got the Unspeakable one had its availability go up. Okay, whatever. Because like this was 7 and this wasn't, and it just didn't really make much sense. So now this has better availability. And the Tunguska got better, good. I mean, that thing was basically just not very good at all. So the Tunguska now has the same anti-helo range as the Gepard, which I think makes a lot of sense. Sorry, I've got a very itchy nose. I need my, I woke up so fast I didn't get time to, take my cocaine. Anyway, it's still worse than a Gepard. It's got the missiles, but I mean, it costs so much more. And it doesn't have 3 armor, so and it doesn't have smoke. It does have more ammo though. 27Y, Recon Razvedka Saperi got MI2 as a transport option. Alright. 56Y actually had its slot cost nerfed as well, so the cluster thing got changed, the planes got more expensive, and the slot costs got nerfed. So great, good stuff. This is what we like to see. Top tier divisions getting nerfed. You're welcome. I'll take credit for all the good things. Anything you disagree with wasn't because of me. 79Y lost the OSA. Alright, I mean, this 79Y is just a way better version of 39Y now, so it's nice that they're trying to at least differentiate them a little bit. I didn't even know it had the OSA. Okay, whatever. DDR, East Germany. PT-76 stabilizers were increased. Alright. And that will presumably also occur in the Soviet Union. What? Why do they keep doing this? So the T-34 got slower. Its stabilizer went down to 5%. The PKT got changed for DTM. I don't even know what that is. The side armor went up and the rear armor went up. I mean, this is basically a meme unit nobody uses anyway, but since the reservist trait has been changed, because they were always reservists, but since that's been changed, this might actually be really good now. It can survive. It's got more armor than a warrior on its side. I mean, it is a tank, but it's a World War II tank. DTM, I mean, it seems to have identical stats to the PKT. It's gotten slower, but it's got more armor. But the reservist trait means it's not as dog anymore, so maybe you'll see more of it. It is 30 points. Right, this was the bad one. Why did the price go up on the bad one? The reason this is bad is because it's got a heat gun, which makes it not good. But they increased the price. Whatever, that'll affect KDA. And then, yes, various CV price changes, All the T-72s got more expensive. It's probably best if I just show you this by showing you 9th East German, because it gets basically all the T-72s. Good. All T-72s should be... Basically, they should make the stats of them worse, but they just overbuff the stats, and now the prices have to go up. So the T-72M1 is 20 points more. The T-72 MUV is 20 points more. And that's basically it. The T-72S is the same price, the regular T-72 is the same price, but the T-72M1 and the T-72 MUV have had their price go up, and the Polish ones have also gone up similarly. Wow. What's an MPI AK-74N? What's the difference between that and it's the East German name. Alright, okay, more museum moments. Supply doesn't die as much. But yeah, the T-72's got more expensive. The PKT 4x thing is absolutely cracked now because it aims in 1 second and deals more DPS than an autocannon. And the L39ZO rocket price went up and the basic availability increased to 5. The TO55's got PKTs. MI23MF's price. Okay, so let's talk about the L39. So this is on like Gruperungs, right? Or is it Rugener? Maybe Rugener. No, it's on Berlin Gropers. So Berlin Gropers now has access to more plane. More plane for your plane. So this is 5, but this is still 3. It's got a massive payload. But yeah, this is 5 now, so you can go around annoying people at the start of the game. We'll die in 1 hit to a rapier, but at the start of the game, these will be a lot more effective. Might be worth bringing now. MI23 MFHE, price decreased. That is on KDA, right? MiG-23... MF. No, it's on... This can one-shot heavy tanks. I'm not sure why they did that. This can one-shot heavy tanks. And it's just been buffed by 25 points. This can one-shot any heavy tank in the game because it drops 3,000 kilos of bombs on its head. So, wow, okay, big buffs to 39Y, 4th East German and 7th. Alright. MiG-29 renamed. Recon Grenzer Flam price went down. That's on like KDA or something. It literally doesn't matter. Nobody ever brings this. Maybe they will now. Flamethrowers are just kind of rubbish at the moment. Spoke about T-72s getting more expensive. Oh, the T-72M also went up. So the M went up, the M1 went up, and the MUV went up. The M must only be in 7th Panzer. Vopos got militia. Because Vopos are just old Vopos, basically, because both of these traits are required to be the old one. Oh, okay. So actually they've been buffed? Did they have Reservists before? They've been buffed a little bit. We spoke about how the 152mm shells changed in the other section. The Pack Zis got buffed. I mean, yeah, nobody ever uses this thing. It's just terrible. Because it doesn't actually deal any damage against infantry. And yeah, so now its HP's gone up to 3 like every single other anti-tank gun. And the price has come down to 25. People might bring it now. It's just a meme unit. It can only shoot at vehicles. Can't shoot at infantry. I don't know why they don't just give it the HE round as well. Maybe it didn't have one. I think it did, because in Steel Division 2, which is this is from, they did have one. Recon SPW Fug has been nerfed. Well, I'm glad Eugen is around to nerf these overperforming units that we never see ever. But basically, this is a transport for some stuff you can get on Gropers, and now it's a bit slower. Why? I couldn't tell you, mate, given that all the other SPWs go at 85. Why did they make it slower? Now it's just got a different speed to all the other ones on the same chassis. Well, I'm glad Eugen are here to fix these problems. Ural HP went up, we spoke about this. The Flak KS myself has had its availability go up, and yeah, so this is the KS 130 that the Soviet Union gets, but it also applies to like Rugener, so I think it's the same thing. No, it's not. It's different. So the KS-19 apparently goes 3,100 meters against aircraft. Yeah. Okay, why not? I mean, it's interesting. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see what happens. And the ZPU's got more... So this is a very good change. So the... So it's like 6th where you can bring... No, it's KDA where you can bring both. So both of these had similar DPS against infantry. I think this one actually had more DPS against infantry. And it cost less, even though it's better. So and it's got more availability. So they've made it more expensive now. Against planes, they're obviously not great, but that's not what they're for. They're good against infantry. But they've also changed the minimum range, so we'll see how that all fits together. Poland, I'm not going to be able to render the video. I'm not going to be able to render the video before Broken Arrow comes out. Well, I love Poland, so let's just keep going. We're almost there. So the Poland has been buffed quite a bit, except the T-72's got more expensive, which is good, because they were stupid. So the AS-85 command, so this is Donkey Kong, basically, Donkey Kong Division. Why'd you call it Donkey Kong? 'Cause that's what it's called, bro. I'm trying to hover over it to make it show up. It's not doing it. Okay, whatever, you can just believe me. I think he's got more expensive. One second. Was it 240 last patch? Yeah, it must have been. Oh, interesting. Anyway, buffs to Donkey Kong in a way, in that I've already forgotten. The command ASU got cheaper and the stealth went up. The Topaz Jod got faster. So that is the transport that the Strelas come in. So it's this thing, so that got faster, which is a big deal because you need to close range to actually be able to hit the enemy helicopter, which can outrange you. So that is a big deal. So buffs to that, that's nice. Obviously, you know, oh, okay. You can't fire the Strelas on the move on the Toad one anymore, but you can still on this. Minimum range on the guns. The whip, the Nebelwerfer got nerfed, sadly. The damage went down a bit, the suppression went down a bit. Big sad. The availability of the Descent Strelas got better, but the price went up. Well, nobody should be bringing this anyway. If you want to do an early game rush, you bring this, or you just defend it with fighters, which is what you should actually be doing. And then later on in the game, you want as many of these as you could. You basically just want 16 of these, so that you can just try and suppress the enemy to death with Strela spam, because you don't have anything better. And yeah, you can have this if you really want it for anti-infantry. Obviously, it's been nerfed a bit now. Yeah. Okay, whatever. Then some various command changes. The PT-76's stabilizers got better, apparently. The command Meridia got a little bit cheaper, but the command T-72's got more expensive, and the command T-72's just changed, but T-72's in general got more expensive. The Wilt got a little bit more expensive, and the other one's got a bit more expensive. So in terms of like Donkey Kong, some of the helos got a little bit cheaper. The Yak B aims in 1 second now. I mean, that thing's a piece of junk anyway, so maybe that'll help. The wow. The fire rates went up on all of the PT-76s, and that's not listed in the patch notes. It's a good job we've got our friends over at the YS website to tell us this, and it's a good job you've got me, as much as I love being here at this present moment. Now the mortar is forward deployed, okay. And yeah, okay, so all the PT-76s shoot faster now. Great, well, why not? I mean, nobody was bringing them before. 13 rounds a minute? 14 rounds a minute? Whoa, might actually be worth bringing those now. We'll see, time will tell. And, was this 50 before? It must have been. The command one got cheaper by 10 points, but it doesn't say the regular one did. Might have been the patch before. But yeah, check that out. These things fire a lot faster now and have way better accuracy. Interesting. It's more in keeping with like the Kanj PZ or something now, I think. Or the AMX 1390. Yeah, let's check that. AMX 1390. 12 rounds a minute. Kanj PZ. 10 rounds a minute. Well, hang on. This is 10 at 90 millimeters, and then the PT-76, 76 millimeters. Okay, so it shoots even faster. And the other one's auto-loaded, so it's, it's different. Okay, yeah. PT-76 buffs. It was needed. They were crap. The commands got a little bit cheaper. Seems that these guys got a bit worse. The availabilities went up on the Strela that the ones I was just showing you, the Marine Strelas. You can upvet your supply if you're retarded. And yeah, the Ros Specialni are the ground surveillance radar ones. So they've they've become a little more expensive. I mean, okay, whatever. Can't bring as many at the start, weaker deployment. But this fires really fast now. It might actually be worth bringing this now. It might. Whoa! I mean, it's just gonna die, but yeah, it might actually be worth bringing a card of these now for anti-infantry support. Because think about the DPS if it's shooting that fast. Because you don't have any IFVs, so you're forced to rely on like these and stuff, and they're just not. I mean, this is good against infantry. This is good against everything, but like, against infantry, like this shoots fast, but I mean, this shoots fast, yeah, sure, whatever. But yeah, this could be a pseudo IFV now. I mean, we can do some quick calculations. I know I keep saying I don't have the time, but whatever. If the video comes out tomorrow, it comes out tomorrow. So where are we here? 148 seconds to kill Grenadier Voltigeur squad. And if you get the warrior, 84 seconds. Okay, so it's still a lot worse, but it's better than it was before. I can't compare the before to after. I could, but it would take ages and I can't be bothered. Then a lot of the helos got a bit better, like a lot of the cheaper helos got a bit better, so I think these are the same. And like one of these got a little bit more expensive, and then this got a little bit cheaper or something, because they had identical stats to the East German ones, but cost a different amount, which was dumb. So they fixed that. Then there's some buffs to the helos. So the prices of these have changed. So I think this got cheaper, and I think this got cheaper. Where are we? Oh, actually, I can just check on the on this, can't I? So minimum ranges, changes to helos. Yeah, the Salamandra got cheaper, which was okay. So it was just the Salamandra that got cheaper. Well, that makes sense because I mean it's garbage. The autocannons are good and all. It's just like this has rockets, whereas this has Malyutka at 16 AP. So I think it's good that this has changed. Whoever thought of that must have been really smart, and you should subscribe to his YouTube channel. I've already made that joke. And yeah, so the really wild thing in this division. Oh, interesting. So now they've got a cluster. They've got this, which drops from high altitude, so it's actually not very good. But okay, whatever. It's better than nothing. So your anti-tank capabilities increased. The really weird thing about this was that this was coming at 2 per card, even though it's a stat clone to the East German one, which comes at 3 per card. So we've got that fixed, and now they both come at 3 per card, so that's a big buff. So 4th Polish is going to be taking names, I think, with its... I mean, most of it hasn't really changed, but you know, this is a bit cheaper, and it's got this now, and the fact that you get 3 other fighters, and 3 of the bad fighter if you really want it, is very helpful. So yeah, that's good stuff. And wow, the PKT times 4, taking names with the PKT times 4, which is better than the autocannon one. 20th Polish got nerfed a bit because the tanks got a bit more expensive. It's not a big difference. You're not going to notice the difference on the Wilk. But yeah, the CV one got a bit cheaper, and then the some of them did, some of them didn't. But the T72M1 went up in price. Which is good because they were just massively overperforming. So, yeah. But the M is... What? Oh, they fucked it up again, haven't they? They have, haven't they? Is there no... No, hang on, there it is. So they forgot to change the price of the Polish T-72M. They only changed the East German T-72M. So the Polish T-72M is the same. Oh, it's not got smoke, actually. That's a big difference. What the hell? The Polish T-72M should be 10 points less than the German one. Should be 160, but instead it's 145. So Poland will... 20th Polish, which in 1v1 is already better than 9th East German. I used to say it's the other way around, but the honkers just give you so much momentum, it's absurd. Yeah. Whatever, maybe next patch. 3 more months, bros. So is that everything? Could I finally leave? No, it isn't. So the honkers got a bit more expensive, which makes a lot of sense, really. They were stupid. Because, yeah, this doesn't show transports. But, yeah, the ground surveillance radar guys seem to all be getting a little bit more expensive, but not the special forces ones. And the honker Reese got a little bit more expensive, apparently. It says it's 35 and it was, what, 30 before? Yeah, good. I mean, it was just stupid. The Topaz 2's got a little bit better in terms of the speed. I mean, nobody ever brings those anyway. So who even has them? Very exciting. It's for, like, Toad stuff, right? No, so it's got 2. Well, whatever. And, Command Topaz got faster. Recon OT-76 speed went down, so that's that'll be that's the SPW FUG. So now this is 10 kilometers an hour slower than all other things on this chassis, unless it's actually supposed to be a BR. No, this is still faster. This price went up a little bit, even though I guess it's because of the ground surveillance radar. It's getting more expensive. I mean, it is a useful thing to have, and this is a little bit more expensive now, which hurts their forward deployment a little bit. So it's going to cost you 20 points more at the start of the game, because you always buy all 4 of these and just BAM! Or at least 3. And they got some extra options. Oh, the Polish actually got a slot change on their air tab, so they can actually bring this new fighter. So that's everything, I think. I'm sorry it's not all well planned out. New maps, new balance, top divs nerfed. 4th Dutch sort of buffed massively. Yeah, I'll see you in Broken Arrow. I don't know when this is coming out. I'm playing Broken Arrow. I'm probably playing it right now as you're watching this, depending on when this comes out. There it is, the launch day stream. So I somehow have to figure out how to make this 2-hour video, which I did try and make quickly, render in less than 2 hours or whatever, and I suppose I've got time. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry for complaining. I hope you enjoyed the patch analysis. I think we got most, if not all, the changes. I'm just sorry it's been so... whatever. Have a nice day.